Good afternoon, everyone, and I hope today has been a blessing so far for you and yours. I pray God's blessings on you and your family. I had a thought come to mind and wanted to do a video on this that I feel like would be a blessing to all of us. If you think about the original church, in its primitive state, it was fast growing. On the day of Pentecost alone, there were 3,000 souls added to the church. And when you read about what they did, they had all things common. They sold extra possessions. They shared with one another. And, a lot of that was done out of necessity. You didn't have some of the programs that society has today to take care of the less privileged, of course. You had pressure from the Roman Empire and all the political things that were going on. But one thing was sure, they were united and they had one goal in mind, and that was to serve Jesus Christ. And if you believe in Jesus, you have somewhat of a measure of a desire. How can I serve Him? How can I grow close to Him? Well, one aspect that I think a lot of us miss is that we have categorized our faith into a Sunday type religion only. And the problem with that is that was not the model of the church. Let me read to you some scripture that you'll see in what I'm referring to. In the book of Acts, chapter 2, we find that in verse number 42, they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine, in fellowship, and breaking of bread, in prayers. So these were some key things that were done. They had a common doctrine, the apostles' doctrine. They broke bread with one another. They fellowship with one another. If we only connect with God's people on Sunday only, we are missing some of the greatest things that can happen in our life with community. Christ Church was not meant to be an individual thing only. Yes, we will all stand before God and be judged according to our own actions. No one else can answer for us. That's why Jesus came and died, so that the sins that we've committed can be forgiven and will not be counted against us on Judgment Day. Eternity is an individual affair, but church, community, believing was never intended to be an individual affair. Let's read on. And in verse number 46, and they continued daily with one accord in the temple, breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart, praising God and having favor with all the people, in verse 47, and the Lord added to the church daily such as should be saved. Now, did you notice the word daily was mentioned there? God's intent is for us to have a relationship with Him daily, to be in the church, to be connected to the church. If ever before we need to have a dimension in our busy life where we're getting together for Bible studies in our homes, we're fellowshipping with one another, we're praying